Alright, here we are guys on our filming day as we promised. So I'm going to start off with introducing myself. My name is Donna Berent and I am a birth and postpartum doula in the inner west of Sydney. I also teach Hypnobirthing International, which is a 5-week program at my cosy home in Strathfield.
Hi, I'm Claire. I live in the Blue Mountains. I am a doula and I also work with women in women's circles. I hold mother blessings and I'm passionate about all things sacred, ritual and rites of passage when it comes to women.
Hi, I'm Alison. I'm the Hills District doula for birth and postpartum. We've had some fantastic questions come in. Thank you everybody for answering them. So we'll do our best to put that together for you now. Claire, what is a doula?
Okay, so this is a question that we get a lot. Even though doulas are becoming more common and a lot more popular, there can still be a bit of confusion around what we actually do. So a doula is a non-medical support person who can be with you prenatally, during your labour and birth, and postnatally, or you can tailor doula services to what you need as well. Our main role is really to provide you with informational support, so evidence-based information to help you make decisions, resources such as books or websites or Facebook groups, things like that that might be helpful to you in your journey. We provide ongoing emotional support, which is incredibly important, especially because in the current maternity system, for many women, a doula will actually be their only version of continuity of care. So many women have a different midwife at every appointment, or maybe a different doctor at every appointment, and that continuity of care is essential to make sure that you feel heard, listened to, and like someone in your birth space really knows you and what your wishes are. We also help you to become your own advocate and really think about what your wishes are and how to communicate that to your team and your partner if you have a partner birthing with you. And we provide physical support too, so whether that's acupressure, could be massage, particular positioning techniques for Barb and you, anything that makes you feel safe, comfortable and taken care of in your whole experience. The doula's role is really to be tailored to you, so we're not there to make any decisions on your behalf. We're truly there to support what you want and help you to feel empowered and enjoy your experience of meeting your baby. So, coming off from that question, we had another fantastic question. This one was from Annie. What are the benefits of hiring a doula? That's such a good question.
Yes, okay, thank you for that question. And a lot of it has already been covered by Claire, but hiring a doula has many benefits. And additionally, to add to what Claire's mentioned, is that a doula will provide many types of different roles. So if you're looking for a spiritual doula or if you're looking for factual information, a doula will basically work for you and what you're wanting from your birth. And we also look to support your partner, husband or spouse, and we provide emotional support for them, or if it's physical support, if you're at your birth and your partner wants to have a sleep, we also make that option available so they can get some rest and we can take over the role of support person while you give birth. Statistics also show that hiring a doula has many benefits in you have a less traumatic birth experience regardless of how your birth ends up, how your experience ends, and also we're your number one support person. So no matter which way you decide to give birth, we will always go with what you want, and we also hiring a doula also provides you with more opportunity to feel in control by having the information and the tools available to have a positive birth experience. And also the main benefit of having a doula is that you are less likely to have an episiotomy and have any intervention or a cesarean. So there's many benefits and aspects of hiring a doula.
That's good.
Okay, so we have a question from Isabel, and basically the question is, she doesn't have family or any family local to her. What can a doula provide her postpartum wise?
Wow, that's really good, especially with 2020 being an awful year for COVID. So many family has been unable to travel to be with people, so not having your family with you at this special time is really tough. You really do need a village around you when you have your new baby. A family member being unable to join you and leave both mum and dad isolated and worn out. A doula can be by your side through late pregnancy, be your birthing bestie. Postpartum gives you moral support and advice, as well as physical support. A postpartum doula can also provide you with nourishing food that helps you restore your energy and supports your healing.
Sounds good.
Beautiful. It's a really good question. There's another good question. So we might ask this one to Donna actually. She's the hypnobirthing educator on our team. But Jessica asked, what are my options for education for childbirth?
Okay, great. That's a really good one because we do hear a lot about childbirth education, which is taught in the hospital system. So if you're birthing within a hospital, they will provide some form of childbirth education. It's usually across a day or two, and what they will usually go through is the procedures and policies of that particular hospital. They then also cover what types of births that you can look at within that hospital itself, and then also what types of drugs for pain relief options you have. That's usually what they'll cover within that time frame, which is more than enough for some people. However, there is another option, and there is an option to have private birth education. So seeking out an independent institution that actually teaches a much more thorough concept of birth, how birth came about. So hypnobirthing itself is across a 5-week program, and we go through the stages of labour, what a positive birth can look like through watching positive birth videos, and also just rewiring that subconscious belief about birth and what your core experiences are dating back to from when you were a child, and how that has shaped your view of birth and what you believe to be true. So yes, they're two different forms of birth education, and yeah, you can decide which one's right for you.
That was really good. Okay, our next question is, I don't necessarily want a doula at my birth. What can you do to provide services pre or postnatally?
I can answer that one if you like. So we do a lot prenatally and postnatally, and of course, as biased as we are, there are definitely lots of women that might want a doula but don't necessarily feel that they want or need them in their birth space. So prenatally, we cover what your options are, how you can make the best decisions for you. And we do that by providing evidence-based information and working through your beliefs around labour and birth. And we also look at writing your birth plan if you're wanting to write a birth plan, supporting your partner with how they can support you in labour and birth, because if you're not having a doula there, then we can tell your partner some of our little doula secrets. And just emotional support. That emotional support is so important because pregnancy is a huge time for women, and everybody experiences it very differently. And unless you have private midwifery care or an obstetrician or a midwife through the hospital that you really connect with, it can be quite difficult to find someone who knows you and knows your emotions and really can be understanding of what you're going through and take the time to listen. And that can be one of the best things that working with a doula prenatally provides, is just that time and space to be held and to be heard with what you're going through. Postnatally, I guess we've already discussed a little bit of that, but just to add to that, we can ensure that you feel supported and cared for, because postnatal experience, as beautiful as it is, having your beautiful baby and going through getting to know your baby, it can also be quite a depleting time in terms of sleep and nourishing yourself. So what we really aim to do is come in and nourish you, whether that's with meals and postpartum specific foods to help your body recover from labour and birth, whether it's some breastfeeding guidance or referrals to breastfeeding professionals, or it could just be popping over and holding the baby so you can lie down for 5 minutes or have a shower, or one of those things that we just don't get time to do often with newborns. And then on top of that, we can also provide extra sacred rituals. So Alison and I both offer sacred belly binding and closing the bones, which are both really beautiful ways of honouring that rite of passage of entering into motherhood for the first time, for the fourth time, it doesn't matter, but you still deserve that honouring and celebration of what your body has done to grow, nourish and birth your baby. And we also provide the partner with some support postnatally, just checking in on them and seeing how they're going, and seeing how you're going as a team with your new baby.
Thank you, Claire. That was really insightful, and lots of things that you can do pre and postnatally, even if you don't have a doula at your birth. So thanks for going through all that. Speaking of postpartum though, we had a question from Anita about what is a normal postpartum bleed period?
Okay, that's a good question. So that's going to be really different for all women. We definitely can't say like it'll definitely be a week or it'll definitely be 6 weeks. And it's definitely a great question for your midwife or obstetrician as well. But from the information we know and from working with women, it can really vary. So it could be from a week, could be 6 to 8 weeks. It just is different from woman to woman. And actually, just quickly, I thought I would add the other thing we provide postnatally is a birth debrief.
Oh yes,
which
that's
is
right.
which is something that again, unless you have a private midwife, you may not be likely to get that service.
Yes.
So having a birth debrief to go through your birth and answer any questions or anything that happened that you weren't sure about, and really just make sure that you know your birth story and you understand how it unfolded. So that's quite an important postpartum thing that we do.
Definitely.
So, yes. So I think there was one more question. Alison's got that one there. Oh, Donna's gonna put that one there for you.
Okay, so how do you all work as a team and support your clients? That's a really good one actually.
Yeah.
Do you want to answer that one, Alison?
Yep. So really grateful for these two beautiful souls that I work with here. We're so we all have unique offerings for our women that we work with, but we contact each other so regularly. We're debriefing all the births that we attend so that we can get that off our chests and support each other through our own emotions. We run over ideas that come up all the time through postpartum needs, and when you book one of us for your birth or postpartum journey, you're actually getting all three of us together. So quite a lot of knowledge all together. We've walked this path before and we know what you might actually come up against, and how to navigate around some of these challenges. We are women who literally have your back for you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that was it for today, and I hope you stayed to the end and watched. And if there's any questions or if you had anything that we missed or wanted to ask, we will be doing these again. And yeah, hope you enjoyed.
Thanks.
Bye.